Facebook page. View pictures, watch posted and live videos, read his comments, and leave your comments. Join over 500,000 followers all around the world just by liking his Facebook page at Bishop Charles Ajen Asare.
Okay, all right. Thanks for staying tuned and thanks for being glued to your set. It's the book review show right here on Precious TV. You're welcome back to our discussion on knowledge management and network for capacity development, a focus on Institute of Directors Ghana. Many a times we find out that knowledge is not properly managed or properly transferred to from the immediate past, executives to their successors and so on and so forth. So this book addresses that challenge. And if you are in such a field, you are on the board of directors, board of governors, maybe you are an SME, you own a big business and you are thinking of who will succeed when I'm gone. I mean, this book answers the questions, and that's the discussion we're having in the studio with Dr. Frederick Ofosu Darko. You can join us via text or WhatsApp 0231151615. We are also live on Facebook. Send your comments, your interactions. I mean, whatever question that you have concerning this topic, please don't hesitate to join us in the discussion. Okay, so Doc, this is a research that you did. How long did the research take?
Actually, I started it around 2015 December, and I defended it at October 2017 at Columbus, Ohio, in the U.S.
That's 2 years.
It took about 2 years in coming out with the final product.
That means you were flying up and down, or you had to come to Ghana, or
it was the last minute that I have to defend at U.S. Columbus, Ohio.
Okay. Okay. So it wasn't that you were going back and forth.
I did most of them in Ghana, only traveled a couple of times.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, we've said a lot about knowledge management, but to the layman, I mean, what is it? I was reading online, and in your book, there are some two key people, Nonaka and Takechi. I just love their names, but but let's look at the basics. You talked about Cadbury, you talked about some other people in this research, but let's look at to the layman, to the mother sitting there, the market woman who has a shop somewhere. I mean, she is her own board of. She's the chairman of her, and she has to leave. What is it?
Yeah, the whole concept of knowledge management is about capturing our experiences, our day-to-day experiences. As you work day-to-day on a particular, let's say, schedule or task, maybe you may not realize it, but as the day go by and you keep doing the same thing, you have the tendency to develop better ways of doing it, getting it more, let's say, becoming more professional on it, and saving time and producing more with quality. That is the experiences that you acquire that enables you to have the best as you keep working on the same thing. Now, this is what we lose out if it is not captured. In other words, we have to capture, document, and after we have documented those experiences, that is when we can share. So in sharing the experiences, you are kind of, you can adopt a succession plan and then share to those who may succeed you. Or if you have similar operations at different places, you share the experiences coming from different maybe operations and then you harness the knowledge, you document, and you keep sharing. So this is the whole concept of capturing, documenting, and sharing the knowledge. Now, knowledge management has been brought into by different disciplines. HR is interested in knowledge management because it's dealing with capacity development, human capacity development, intellectual properties of the organization, and stuff like that. So because of that, they are more interested in succession planning, who is the second in command and all that. And then IT's interest, that's technology interest, is where they kind of enable the knowledge to be shared. So they provide the infrastructure or the channel for knowledge to be shared. So you realize that various disciplines have interest in knowledge management. But for the board or the leadership, if there's a vacuum, they may not be able to see the importance from those other disciplines. So this is what my book is advocating, that the top should buy into it or should initiate it, so then it can be sustained and there can be funds for it, and it can. So basically, this is the whole concept where knowledge is captured, it is documented, and also shared. So when you read a book, you realize that, or when you read knowledge management, you realize that the whole idea is about how to document our knowledge and make sure they are not lost.
And I mean, so the layman will say, and I'm okay, bro, focus, because knowledge management, passing down the knowledge from one generation to the other. So the book, basically, because it was your research, chapter 1 is the overview, chapter 2, the literature review, chapter 3, the methodology, chapter 4, analysis and presentation of the results, chapter 5, conclusions and recommendations. And you made some, I mean, interesting discoveries. I looked at the, when you were interviewing some of the board of the directors and the sample size. I mean, it was interesting to know that, I mean, you always see board of, I mean, you see the directors, you see them as big people who know it all, but you realize from the research that, I mean, some people are really honest and they're like, well, and your youngest was 32 years on, I mean, serving on that.
Yeah, basically, I think that before you, reacting to your next question, you asked me about the knowledge transformation model that I used about SOCI. I'll clear that quickly, and then I'll pick up your next question. Now, you mentioned about Nanuka and Takashi, right? The theory...
Takoshi. I read it. Takachi. Okay. Thanks for the correction.
So you realize that they are authorities in knowledge management. Once you read about it, you come across them. And they had a theory propounded in 1995, which was talking about knowledge transformation, right? By then, they did not include technology, but then at least they shared an idea, or they kind of experimented and came up with the four, the four models of knowledge transformation. And it goes like this. They looked at how the knowledge can be transformed from, one person to the other. And so the four modes, they look at tacit. I will explain tacit as a going. Tacit to tacit, right? That is, and then that is what we call the socialization. And then externalization from the tacit to the explicit. But before I explain those, let me talk about tacit and explicit. Then the model becomes meaningful. When we talk about tacit, we are talking about the knowledge or the experience that is hidden in an individual. Yes, you ask him, you know how to do this very well. How did you do it? He say, well, I don't know, but
I just
the moment I start, I'm able to do it perfectly. And that is the experience he has acquired, and it has become limited to him alone. Unless he does it, no one can do it. That is his tacit knowledge, right? And when the tacit knowledge we don't harness, in other words, we don't capture, document, and share. When the person is no more, that knowledge is lost completely. As someone said, the richest of resources can be found in the cemetery. Imagine the number of people who never shared they have captured the experience or allowed the experience to be captured, or never shared their experiences and died. And all this would have been
Waste, yeah.
been of an advantage to us, but it's gone. Right. So the tacit is the hidden knowledge in you that is not shared. It's just with you.
So if I'm on a board, and I mean I can take very good decisions. I mean, whenever I come on board, things are kicking in split seconds. I can say, let's do it like this, let's do it like that, and then the returns are massive. And I don't really know how to. I didn't acquire that, you know, through schooling or something. But as I was doing it, I became an expert at it. That's the tacit.
Exactly.
That's the
tacit knowledge that you have acquired on the job.
On the job.
And the most important thing is that you begin to mentor or coach or help others to be able to do what you do.
Okay.
So that there will not be a situation that the whole company comes to a halt whenever you are not available.
So that's what you are doing, a terabyte consult.
Exactly.
You are giving your tax.
Yes. So you kind of make sure that there is somebody who either understudy or you are succession plan or something. So that all the things that you do to choke the success, whenever you're not there, that person could do it and the company can keep going instead of grounding when you are not available. Right. So this is exactly how it works, you know. So that tacit knowledge is yours. However, the whole idea of explicit, what we are doing now, we are converting, or I'm converting my tacit knowledge into explicit knowledge.
Yeah.
Explicit is recorded knowledge, writing the knowledge down, documenting the knowledge. So as we are discussing this, I think it's being videoed.
Yeah.
So we are turning our tacit into explicit. You know, after that, it becomes available to the next person. And somebody can sit, read, or listen and learn from it. So that is externalization.
So this book is also
it's explicit. Completely explicit. So when you pick it, you can learn. And you see, even if I'm dead and gone 20 years ago, and this book is there, it can speak to people. Because it has become
But you
explicit.
are not there
no
with
more
the tacit,
tacit,
because you are gone.
The explicit will be there, and people would tap from it and probably use the experiences to gain. So that is the two concepts. Now, coming to the transformation model, the first one is socialization, which is tacit to tacit. And that is what happens mostly in the boardroom. We come and have a meeting. We talk at the meeting. We discuss issues. And then we socialize even after that over the lunch and whatever, all those discussions. Through the various networking, you are sort of exchanging your experiences and knowledge because you are narrating your experiences and all that. And in this way, you are sharing the knowledge and developing. So socialization aspect of the four key modes is, I mean, networking, going through the meetings and all that. Fine. Now, externalization is where I said your tacit to explicit is what we're doing right now. So it means that whenever someone is sharing his experiences, whilst the experiences is being captured, then he is in the externalization mode. That is where he is sort of sharing his tacit knowledge, and immediately when it is captured. Then the next level is where we have the...
is it the internalization or combination?
Combination first before internalization. Combination is, wow, it's more or less like doing research. I pick various tacit knowledge to create a new knowledge. So I read from Nanuka Takoshi, I read for another authority, read for another, but then I have my own aim of what I want to create. After that, I'll create a unique new knowledge. But the sources of those knowledge being created are all tacit knowledge. That is what we call combination. Which
so I can interview people with their experiences and all that. I can come to you, can go to someone else, and then I put them together, I research, I weigh them. And
the difference here is that it's not the tacit knowledge that you are combining. You are combining explicit knowledge. So I'll go to the library, for example, I have to do an assignment, and I'll pick 10 books of the same subject area, and I try to sort of pick the write-ups of all different people's concerning what I want to achieve.
Okay.
The moment I achieve what I want by looking at all those sources and put it together, I've created a new knowledge. And that new knowledge was as a result of combination of external knowledge. That is the explicit knowledge, right?
So, and then the last
the last one is internalization. In fact, if you're a director and you're hungry to learn, then your source is internalization. Reading the newspapers regularly, listening to the international news, the Al Jazeera,
the business
news, listening to the various FMs, whatever, and making sure that you are really understanding the business environment within which you operate. All these attempts to gather knowledge so that you can operate is what we call the internalization. Of course, you could also go for courses and others, but then once the emphasis is you want to enrich yourself with knowledge, you are internalizing the knowledge. So here, it is coming from the explicit to the tacit. Right.
Oh, okay. Well, in case you just tuned in, it's the book review show right here on Precious TV, and we are in school. We are in school, but we are with the Board of Governors and Directors, Institute of Directors. The immediate past leader of that group is with us here, Dr. Frederick Ofosu Darko, and his latest book is Knowledge Management and Network for Capacity Development, and he focused on the Institute of Directors Ghana. You can join us via text or WhatsApp 0231151615 or 0203438710, or you can call us 0207 10001. That's 0207 10,001 is the number that you can call. Okay, so we are having an interesting, yes, we are live on Facebook, so just visit our Facebook page and drop your messages, drop your questions so that the doctor will address them. Wow. Since this is a book review, we are not going to look into the entire book so that you would, for future references, you just want to watch the video and you not go and get the book. But we have to say some of the tacit knowledge so that, you know, you have to go for the explicit later.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. Before we go into just a few questions, what were some of the challenges you faced? I mean, I know that being a immediate past, someone will say, oh, it was easy for him because you were an immediate past, so the people know you. It's just, okay, phone call, email. These people they are just easily accessible.
I would say no. There was a challenge, basically. There was a challenge because directors, by their operations, by their character, by the way they do things, they're busy people, and they cannot be easily, make time for you to even grant them interview. In fact, and more so, not all of them are gathered in one place like Accra if you want to go. Okay. So it becomes a challenge if you really want to reach some category of directors, and so most of them may not be available or make time for this. So mostly you have to create a focus group within it. So I think I had two different focus groups. One of the training group that we were training, coming in fresh, was a focus group. I had a focus group of my own council. That is the board of directors of the institute, who also met and discussed some of the questions, the interview questions. And then when it got to the one-to-one interview, I have a couple of one-to-one interviews, but the rest I had to go online. And I have to use technology to get the rest of the information. So this is how it worked. But like I said, it wasn't that easy. You really have to convince people, or people have to be interested in what you are doing to be able to give you the audience or to give you the time so that you can interview them.
And in his book, he has all the questions that he wrote out there, the questionnaires, everything. So you get to know exactly what went into it. And he's done this explicitly, you know, and served you with the best. You can join us. It's the book review show right here on Precious TV. We're looking at how to manage knowledge, and this focus was on the Institute of Directors. Gonna have the immediate past leader of the Institute of Directors Ghana, and I learned that the book has not been launched. I learned it hasn't been launched. But you can join us. 0207 10001. 0207 10001 is the number that you can call. 0207 10001. We are also live on Facebook. Go to our Facebook page, The Book Review Show GH, and then you're going to find us. We are live there. So about the launch, it's
yeah, I think it's coming up 7th of December. Sorry, 12th of December.
12th, okay.
Today's 12th of that's next Thursday.
Thursday,
4:30 p.m. at British Council,
okay.
And that is between that time and 7:30 we'll have finished the launching of the book, and that is when you can grab your fresh copy and then begin to understand the knowledge management systems, begin to understand how the corporate governance aspect comes in, and why it is so important at that level to be able to understand and all that. All these are found in the book. And if you are probably an academician or a student at a very high level, let's say a master's or doing a doctorate, it is also going to assist you in a very special way, especially if your preferences is to become a qualitative researcher. The approach for gathering and for researching is all clear, simplified, which you can follow to understand your own processes of coming up with your qualitative research.
Okay, let me just look at some comments on Facebook. This one from Elvis Ofei says, great show. Apia Kwame says, lovely show, and blessed this morning. So yeah, you need to get this book. It's going to really help you. If you are not a director, you don't say you are waiting to become a director or you are not yet on a board, so you are not interested. It's amazing where you get to in life, and when it's thrown at you, at least you have some experience. You have something that you have to internalize and, if possible, even combine. Yes. Doc, what are you expecting from this launch and from this book that you have written? What are your expectations with regards to this?
Yeah, to begin with, I really want to encourage everybody, every professional, to be interested, especially the boards, I want to encourage them to put knowledge management systems in place so that they will not lose the tacit knowledge that they have paid. From the HR perspective, you pay people, you employ them to gather that experience that they have gathered. Now, if you don't document, if you don't share them or you don't reuse them, then you are at a loss. In fact, the individual knowledge, which we call the experiences, eventually becomes the intellectual property or intellectual capital of the company if it is harnessed. That is, if the company puts a knowledge management systems in place to capture the experiences they are paying people to gather, then eventually those experiences they have documented has become their intellectual property. And of course, those intellectual property is also an intellectual capital for the organization. So in order not to lose that capital, it is important that companies, the board of directors understand this, and the leaders in various companies understand this, that look, we're losing out on what we are paying for. Therefore, we need to put a system in place to capture those experiences that we pay others to do, so that they put down policies and practical programs to be able to sort of get knowledge management in, as part of their corporate policies and plans, and empower the HR to be able to do that for them, right? But
before you assumed okay, I think we have a caller. Hello, good morning. Your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where are you calling from, please?
Yeah, I'm Nana Angunayebu. I'm calling from Dublin, Ashanti Dublin.
Okay, Nana, please go ahead.
I'm calling from Ashanti Dublin.
Okay, Nana, please go ahead with your comment.
Yes, I am director of are a local NGO focusing on youth development.
Okay.
We are carrying out a program called Career Guidance,
Okay.
targeting senior high school. I want to ask Doc, the Institute of Directors, whether you'll be able to release some of their staff members to come and talk during our career seminar. And maybe we don't have money, they can sponsor their members when they are coming, so that their email address so that they can get in touch with them.
Okay, Nana.
Okay,
Thanks.
okay.
Before Doc goes, you give his contact out there. But
Yeah, Nana,
thank you
I'll relay this to the
And
current.
congratulations for the book.
Yeah.
And I have learned a lot from the tactics to the explicit to externalization to combination.
He's
Thank you
taking
very
his
much.
notes.
Right.
Thank you, Nana. Thanks for taking the notes.
So you simply tick,
Yeah.
tactics, explicit, externalization, and combination.
Thank you, Nana. Thanks so much for calling. All right, Doc. So, so with regards to his
Point, you
yeah.
wonder. Yeah, I think I have very good relations with the Institute of Directors. I'm still a member, and I'll relay some of these to them. And I think they've been considering mentoring program or something. So if it falls in place and it falls in Institute of Directors' plans, I think they will be able to take it up and help them. But then, like I said, I would have to, if it comes up, I'll have to speak to them and see this as an opportunity. Would you want to take it up and all that? So, yes, I'll do that for them.
Okay. All right. So I was saying that, did you have some information prior to you being put in the lead? Did you have any knowledge management before you assumed your position, or you didn't have any?
No, I think I have also built an experience. It has been my tacit, and now at least I'm releasing it to the book and other experiences, right? And I fell in love with knowledge management as a subject, and also I happen to be a corporate governance expert or a trainer. So I combined both and tried to find out how we can get knowledge management systems implemented more stronger. Instead of, you see, the literature says that the board should give their support. And so it's like you have to go and lobby the leadership to accept the knowledge management system. But I am changing it. It should be the board own initiative, and they should die for it. They should be ready for it. And therefore, it comes down as an instruction or a command for those that, in that case, they own it and it's going to work.
Wow, amazing how time flies, but our time is up. But we are going to see you at the British Council at 4:30 p.m. on Thursday. 4:30 p.m. Doc is launching his book, Knowledge Management and Network for Capacity Development. So if you want more info, you can call 0231151615. It has been the book review show right here on Precious TV. We looked at knowledge management and network for capacity building, capacity development by Dr. Frederick Ofosu Darko. Doc, thank you so much, and we wish you all the best. We'll be there.
Right.
We will be there.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to be able to sort of share my tacit knowledge into explicit knowledge. And I thank my audience for also making time to sit behind the TV to watch this show. But I can promise them that they will never make a mistake if they get the whole book to sit down and to sort of go into details about it. Especially my research to those who are doing their whatever, the methodology is solid for them. And then also for the book itself, the content as in the various concepts, knowledge management concepts, corporate governance concepts are so clear in there. And then when you come to the real research findings, you realize that Institute of Directors training, the impact and the benefits that others have said we have derived from the Institute is a plus. Institute of Directors is still going to help more people to come and learn, that kind of thing. So for the members of the Institute, those who are registered,